Peter. It took me a second because I was putting the new flat file on there. Hello, darling. How are you doing today? It took me a second, but I got it. Hello. Are you still in here, Peter? I much appreciate it. It does look good. Thank you. Hey, Haggis Sunshine. Hello, darling. How are you doing today? It has been a freaking crazy week. You guys, I am so ready to just have some informational fun. Hey, YRB. Work was fine today. Got through my meetings. I know. I saw the picture. Yeah, I am so glad. My tax month hasn't started yet, but thank God I don't have to do taxes anymore. Right? So happy. What a crazy freaking week. I am so happy for Friday night. And I'm not much of a drinker. Okay, so maybe sometimes, but usually I'm not much of a drinker. And I think every night this week I've said, I could sure use a PBJ. It's just amazing how just wild this week has been. And we kind of knew it going in. Yeah, I don't have income taxes to pay, so I don't have to worry about that. Thank God. In front of on LRH, I didn't see on Fountain, but LRH, it looks like they removed every other one. I'm not even going to bring up pictures. I don't want to deal with that. Let's talk about something fun. Dog mushing. So we had talked about it in one of the sunshines. Excuse my rubbing my face here. But we had talked about it in one of the sunshine mornings that it would be fun to follow the Iditarod. And I thought I'd bring up some facts on the Iditarod and show you the route and show how long it is. So let's get into it. And then we're going to introduce the Mushers, and they do a drawing on the start and when they're going to start, because it is a race and there's a lot of gold at the end of the race. They win, the first couple of people that win, they get a lot of money for it, and they get a truck and a whole spiel. So now I did this on my other page, so I'm going to read a little bit of facts, and then I'm going to show you some really cool pictures. So the Iditarod Trail that connected a point 50 miles north of Seward, Alaska, and that's way down here in Seward, Alaska. I'm going to show you the comparison to the lower 48. And the lower 48 are the lower 48 states. And I'm going to no, I can't do that. Hey, great grandma. How can I do this and still read? Okay, maybe if I do this. There we go. And now I can still see the chat. So it starts way down here. This is the southern tip. And it goes all the way up here to Nome. Well, they stopped going from Seward. So here's Anchorage right here. And so the ceremonial start goes from Anchorage, usually to Eagle River, which is right here. That's all Anchorage. And I'll blow this up for you in just a second. It's about 15, 20 miles. And that's just the ceremonial start. That's the way the city-fied people can watch the ceremonial start. And then they go across the inlet. This is the Cook Inlet. And they go across the Cook Inlet by truck, and they do their real start out here in Knik, Knik. And then they go all the way to Nome. One year they go this way, one year they go this way. They have a southern and a northern route. And it is about 1,100 miles, 1,150 miles. That's a long ass way on a dog sled. And all of these points are checkpoints. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing. Ooh, big face. And then go to my PowerPoint. I didn't do like a big PowerPoint thing, but I did do some pictures. That way you can see the comparison if it's going to work. Come on, you can do it. Come on, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to make this smaller. That way I can see. Can you guys still see? What the hell? So, damn it. I'm not going to make it bigger. Or else we lose the. Hey, Moose on the Loose. Oh, right. I'm glad. That is so cool that they're using your sign. That's way cool. You wish you were there to do the sign too. So when you think of Alaska, so here's that Cook Inlet right here that we were talking about. And here's Anchorage, and then across is Knik. And when you think of Alaska, you don't really think of it as big as it really is. Look how big it truly is. I mean, it covers the whole middle. And then if you look at the Aleutian chain, and then this is where like Juneau, all the capital stuff like that is, it covers almost the whole, it's huge. Then you go to, I thought I'd make a comparison. Now this is 1,300 miles, so it's 200 miles more. So it'd be probably right here at the panhandle of Oklahoma. Los Angeles, all the way to there on a dog sled. Through the mountains, through the hills, through the valleys, through the desert. That's kind of very similar. But that's a long ass haul on a dog sled. And you would have, of course, stops in between that you have to make. And then, ooh, all right, you're going to Alaska up there. Yeah, if you ever need to know anything about it, I am more than happy to help you figure it out. So I just thought I'd give you a picture, a pictorial view. Hey, Lord Bynum. Okay, we just started, so you're not too far off. I'm going to stop the screen and go back to go back to this, but I didn't want that. I wanted... Oh, it's going to be a but. Okay. So I thought I would do some pictures of... I know I need to put it back up. Okay, so here are all the checkpoints. And so it starts at Anchorage, then it goes to Anvik. I'm going to bring up a picture of that. Hopefully it'll bring up a picture of that. So this is basically Anvik, you guys. Let me go back and show you something here real quick. I forgot to show you something. Okay, did that come back on? Okay, so if you look on here, here's the road system. Here's the road from... Here was Anchorage. Oops. Anchorage. There's a road that goes all the way up to Fairbanks. And then there's a very small road. You've heard like the ice road truckers. That's up here. So there is a road that goes all the way up to the North Slope. And this is called the North Slope, up above the Arctic Circle. It's really not used. It's like a gravel road that goes from Fairbanks up to here. This is the road system. There's no roads out here. There's no roads. This is the Squetna. I don't even think there's a road out to Squetna. Is there? Maybe. That's as far as the roads go. That's it. Everything else in Alaska, it's either by boat or plane or sled dog or snowmobile. That's it. So the historical reason for the race was there was the virus back in 1908, 1900 something. There was a virus and they had to get the medicine. They were going to lose the town of Nome. So they had to get medicine from Anchorage, from Seward, which is where the medicine came in, to Nome. And so, again, there's no road system here, none. And so they had to get it out there somehow. And so they dog sledded it. Is that a word? They mushed it all the way out there. And that's the reason for the race. I'm on live, dear. Sorry. And so that was the original. So it saved the people of Nome, the indigenous population, the Eskimos. There are some Eskimos, the Inuits, the Indian population was saved for that. So that was the reason. Hey, Brian, hi. Good evening to you. So this is the first checkpoint. That's the town, folks. So every year, the first checkpoint, they come into the town. And again, this is the town. There are no roads. And that's where all the mushers come. Almost everybody makes it to the first one. So then Campbell Airstrip. I just thought you guys would like. Oh, they don't have nothing. They don't have a picture of Campbell Airstrip. See, it's so small. It literally is just the airstrip. Cripple. There's Cripple. These are not big towns at all. Again, there's no road system there. But these are villages. And that's what they're called, are villages. They're not even really towns or cities. The Deshka Landing, Eagle Island, Eagle River. Diphtheria. Yes, thank you very much. And I guess I can go back and read that if you would like me to read that, because I did kind of skip through it quick. Let me go back to the Iditarod Trail's antecedents were the native trails of the Denina and the Dekhagan, Athabascan peoples, and the Nupiat and Yupik. And those are all tribes of Alaska. From its beginning, the trail wound along the Turnagain Arm, over the Crow Pass, down Eagle River Valley, and north to the trading post of Kinnick, Alaska, the largest town on the Upper Cook Inlet, until the railroad town of Anchorage was founded in 1915. Now, again, the railroad is along the road system, so the railroad goes from Seward to Fairbanks. That's it. There's no railroad out here. There's no railroad out to Canada. That's the railroad. So like you can't take a train from, I see on stupid YouTube channels where people take the train from Miami to Anchorage. There's no train to Anchorage. The train doesn't go to Alaska. The cat, Joe Garney, was the honorary mayor of Teller, even though he hadn't lived there in 30 years. True. And there was a cat that was an honorary mayor of one of the villages. I don't remember which one it was, but it was funny. I don't mean to bore you guys, so if I get boring, tell me. We'll skip and we'll go into something else. So, the trail goes through over the valleys of the Susitna River and the Yetna River and over the Alaska Range and Rainy Pass. Now, the Alaska Range is along here, and the Alaska Range is where Mount Denali is. Now, it is called Mount McKinley, and recently they made an executive order that it was going to be called only Mount McKinley, and that is to a great president, President McKinley. It was renamed, but the Indian name, the Athabascan name, the Alaskan name is Denali, and it'll always be Denali Mount Denali for me. The trail crossed the Kuskokwim River Valley to the hills of McGrath and entered the Innoko River mining district. Remember, gold mining, silver mining, aluminum mining is huge in Alaska. Oil drilling is huge in Alaska. The natural resources are aplenty up there. Getting to them and having them economically feasible is a whole nother story. And And then it goes to the town of Ophir. Let me see if I can pull up. Oh, it's not going to show. And then the trail went southwest through the Kuskokwim Mountains to Iditarod. The trail went north from Iditarod through the now abandoned towns of Dickaman and Dishkaket, and then northwest to the village of Kaltag. The trail then followed the 90-mile-long Kaltag Portage. Hey, Kathy. An ancient native trading trail to Unalakleet. Anybody that watched the American Ninja Warrior, where the guy from Alaska was always on there every year. He was from Unalakleet on the Norton Sound. And then from Unalakleet, the trail coursed around north and west of the Seward Peninsula, passing the villages of Shaktulak, Koyuk, and Galavin. And then it proceeded to end on the front street of Nome. So all through here, and it's got to pass this, they go across the ice right here. And that's always kind of cool when they have to go across the ice shelves. The trail was used during the winter by dog mushers with large freight sleds carrying up to 1,100 pounds. And yes, that was, back in the day, the only reliable way to get things in and out of there. That was before, of course, snowmobiles. So here's the story of the Nome Serum Run. In the winter of 1925, a deadly outbreak of diphtheria struck fear in the hearts of Nome residents. Winter ice had closed the port, because in the wintertime, you don't get stuff in by ship. So the only way to bring stuff in the winter is by air or by dog sled, snow machine. So most things are brought in the summertime on a barge. And then in the wintertime, it costs a whole arm and a leg, almost literally, to bring stuff in by air. Remember the airplane crash, a couple of weeks ago? That was up. They were going to Nome. That's where they were going. So the winter ice had closed the port city from the outside world without enough serum to inoculate its residents. Serum from Anchorage was rushed by train to Nenana and picked up by a sled dog relay. 20 of Alaska's best mushers and their teams carried the serum 674 miles. One of the greatest feats by sled dogs. No pun intended. So that's pretty cool. You remember? Really? Did you learn about this, Kathy, or did you have family members? Or you remember about, yeah. This is a pretty cool feat anyways, so that they stopped it for a couple of years, I think during the war or something like that. I don't remember. But then they restarted it back up. And I don't think I missed a year, gosh, till I left. I always went up to the Iditarod to watch the Iditarod. So leather, fur, and wool for cold weather gear. Yes. And it's that way today. Oh, very cool, Kathy. So, um, like Galena, I have many, many, many friends that are from Galena. I've been there many times. Galena is a little bit, it's more like a town than a village. Oh, please. I thought you were going to show us some pictures of them. So there, I mean, there, it is a town. That's Galena. It's more than just a pit stop. Here's Galena. They have a high school. They have a like a community college there, believe it or not. ACC is their commercial company. That's their grocery store. There's the grocery store. Yep, Galena is a silver lead mining town. Yes, it is. Can you guys see that picture? The one up here in the corner? That's the town grocery store. Pretty cool until you really need something or you don't want to spend $15 on a gallon of milk. But I had spent a lot of time there um, in the work that I did. I ended up being there. It was not very wheelchair accessible. Um, it was not fun to get around, but I had a lot of help. Yeah, not really. No, cappuccinos and coffees, stuff like that is pretty inexpensive there. Um, there's many hot springs up there, Manly Hot Springs. Come on, show us some pictures. Don't make me. It's pretty cool. Up there in Fairbanks, you can go to the hot springs and you can go in. Oh, that's not going to show a street view. Come on. Um, you can go in the middle of winter. Everything's iced over to the ice hotel and go to the hot springs in the middle of winter. Okay, be a butt. Oh, these and that's why these are alphabetical. No, no, Grizzly. No, I don't want you on the computer and I don't need your help. I really don't. Thank you, bud. Who wants to see a town like Shaktuluk, a village? Okay, there's Shaktuluk. That's the village. And again, that's the road. There's no roads into it. You fly in. That's it. Pretty pretty remote. Ooh, White Mountain is always cool. Let's see if there's a picture of White Mountain in here. Yep, okay, so there's White Mountain. And this is a checkpoint. This is where all the mushers will come in. Yeah, he wants to see and help. He always wants to see and help. I had was having a little bit of an emotional moment today because it's been one hell of a week, you guys. And I was sitting in there in the living room in front of my fake fireplace and just kind of, I wasn't crying or anything. I was just kind of, I'm so glad it's Friday. I can't wait to do this. Really want to talk about the Iditarod because I was really excited about it. And Grizz comes in and he puts his head on my lap and he kind of looks up at me like, Mommy, are you okay? It was so cute. He knows when I need a snuggle. And then, of course, here is the end of the race, Nome. And this is the big finish line every year. Nome is a larger village on the ocean. And yep, puppers know everything. Yes, they do. And so this is the arch in Nome. And it's a big village. It has a population of 3,500 people. This is a big village. And lots of gold rush stuff up there. Nome is near where the who's the dredgers, the gold. Trying to remember what the name of that show was. I know one of you guys will think about it. Nome is where your cousin lives? Nome, yeah. Yep. It's just everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business. Small town. Arctic Gold, yep. That was one of the shows, yeah. That's up near where that is. North to Alaska. Yep. So that's kind of the route. As I said, it's 1,100 miles. That's a long, with a ton of snow, right? Yeah, little house on the prairie with a ton of snow. Well, what's not funny is way back when everything started being populated and the gold was discovered, the the Catholics did come in and they decided that they were going to um, civilize the natives. So this is recent history. I have very good friends that were sent to live in Seattle in the Portland area to go to school down there to civilize them. Cece, when she was little, she went through all this. Now, Cece lived down in Sitka, down on the Panhandle. Yep, for Dutch Harbor, right. Here, let me show you where Cece lived. Let me go back. So let me go back up here. Oh, it's not going to show. Let me go back over to it. Cece lived way down here on the Panhandle. I'm going to stop screen just for a second. I know, big face, haha. And go back up here. Present. It's being a butt. So now let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, so this was that picture of Alaska. Here's the gnome that we were talking about. Here's Anchorage. There's Fairbanks. Cece lived down here. Let's see, Juneau's down here. There's Ketchikan, Juneau, Sitka. And Sitka is where it was. Sitka is it's not an island, but it's like, might as well be an island. And there's no road to Sitka either. So she lived in a probably about 3,000 people also village. Sitka is a village. So that's why we kind of got along, because we knew. Okay. Go back to here. Stop screen. Let me go back to my come back over here. So let's look. That's the lineup. So the official start order. So every year they have a banquet, and at the banquet they draw numbers to see who gets to go first in the official start order. So so Anchorage is where they have the banquet. And Anchorage is the biggest city in Alaska, and 360 or so thousand people. I mean, it's comparatively, it's not big to anything down here, to the big cities, but that is the biggest city. So number one is always is left for just it's a memoriam number. And so Jason Mackey is going to be number 2. He's from Fairbanks. Samantha Lalonde. There's always usually not a lot of ladies. Samantha Lalonde. Ooh, she's from Michigan. A fellow Michigander, even though I'm really an Alaskan. Matt Hall. Travis Beals. I know Nicholas Pettit. His dad was a doctor of mine. Sydney Bell from Wasilla. Boy, there's a lot of people from Alaska. Michelle Phillips from Canada. Ryan Reddington. That is a big name in the mushing community. I'm looking just to see. Here's Daniel Klein from Eagle, Wisconsin. A lot of my friends that used to mush are now in our elderly years, and not too sure if they're going to be mushing. There's another Canadian, Mitch Seavey. Oh, I can't believe he's still in it. Jeff Dieter. So 34 mushers. It's not a lot. I think normally there's more than that. So there's 34 mushers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, there's somebody from Denmark. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy crap, 16 rookies. Holy crap, that's a lot. We have Ebby Peterson from Norway. And where was that? Denmark. Mille Porsild? Yeah, it did used to be like 50 some from Denmark. We used to have so many people from there, from overseas. Wow. So people from Denmark and Norway need to vote for your people. You must ask you a question. Is that kind of like the mustache? I must ask you a question. Yeah, it used to be a lot more people in the race. This is a really small number of teams. Yeah, in order to be qualified to run the Iditarod, I think you have to have run successfully in, I think, at least two competitive races, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't see. Usually there's a whole bunch of people from Portland, um, like the Montana, Portland, the whole Northwest area. This is really, really a scaled down. Well, the smaller the number of competition, the easier it is to win, right? That's pretty crazy. Can I make that bigger? Yeah, Mitch Seavey always wins. They need to have somebody else win for a change. Yeah, I can't believe. Oh, here's your ages. Mitch is 32. Oh, no, no, that's the number. That's the bib number. I was going to say, Mitch isn't 32. My brain's not functioning, you guys. So, tomorrow, the ceremonial start will be downtown Anchorage, and it always starts down on um, Third Avenue. And let me see if there's a picture of that. They'll be doing the live stream, and I will restream the live stream so we can hear it. And it will be starting, I believe, at 10 local time. Why aren't we? Here's our what you must know. Yeah, your dog's gonna hate it. That's right. They make so much noise. Dogs are so noisy. They're so excited to take off. So I thought I would do good morning sunshines, get everybody ready in the morning. And then again, let me look. Yeah, they do sing a song on the trail, don't they? Arr, 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 arr. They yell. They howl along the trail. They love it. Okay, so it starts off at 10 and they're 4 hours behind me. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So probably will hop on about 1:30 Eastern tomorrow. It's up near the Yellow Mall. They always have, when they do the ceremonial start, they have people bid to ride the the initial little bit. Oh, this year because the lack of snow, because they had to haul snow in. Last year they had 6 foot of snow by this time. And this year they don't have a drop. They had to haul snow in for the ceremonial start. Oh, and they're going to start out at Fairbanks? What did I just read? What did I know? Yeah, okay, so the officials deemed a section of the trail impassable about a quarter of the way into the normal race route. The area often called the Farewell Burn, which is like where half the people get thrown out of the race, is known for its low snow conditions. Uh, so they're going to start. Oh, well, that's sucky doodles. So they're going to have to drive 350 miles up to Fairbanks. It is one of the shortest ceremonial starts I've ever seen. This is definitely an odd year. Well, see, I didn't see that they're going to start. So the official start will be on Monday, ceremonial tomorrow. It is a long drive. When you drive from Anchorage to Fairbanks, it's a 6-7 hour drive. Okay, want to know a little funny tidbit of information? Halfway there is a lodge, and you want to know what its name is? It's called Skinny Dick's Halfway Inn because it's halfway to Fairbanks. I'm sorry. I get my 12-year-old silly girl every time I drive past it. I'm like, only an Alaskan would think of that name. Oh, too funny. I know. How many tigs do you need to pull a dog sled? 1,000 tigs strong. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I guess I thought you would think that was funny. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. No, that was well, maybe they might be doing that now, but they used to do that down at um the bird, can't remember, it burnt down, the birdhouse was what it was called. And everybody stapled their bras and their business cards and money and all of that, and it ended up burning down quite a few years ago. I've got lots of pictures somewhere of me standing in front of the birdhouse. Yeah, the birdhouse. Yeah, that was back in the day. Okay, you guys. Well, I thought I'd give you the introduction, and let's go back to who was on that list. Did I closed right out of it, didn't I? Here's the official start order. So let's make bets. Okay, and not really for money, but let's take bets. Who's going to keep track of the bets? Haggis, you're an accountant. Who's going to win, a rookie or a veteran? Who's going to win? Somebody from Alaska or an outsider? Who's going to win? Somebody from the US or our Norway or Denmark or Canada folk? You're going to go with Norway? Okay. Vet from Alaska. Okay. Excuse me. You guys got to keep track of who you're. Ricky from Canada. Okay, Kathy. Haggis, you're not rooting for your Canadian folk? Boo. I see how that is. Excuse me. I think we're gonna go. That's true. I mean, if you go by statistics are there's a lot of veterans from Alaska, but there's a lot of rookies. I'm gonna go Abby Normal and go. They do. Mackey, Seavey, and Reddington all have the pedigrees. Yes, they do. I think somebody's going to get tripped up. I'm going to go with the rookie from Alaska is going to win. I'm not too sure which one. And remember, there's only, in all these years, I think there's only been 2 ladies that have won. Lydia, she was a cancer. Hey, Stephen. Not Lyda Green. Lyda Green was a senator. What the hell was her name? Okay, Google. Who are the ladies that won the Iditarod? We'll ask. Libby Riddles. I knew it started with an N. Susan Butcher. Silly me. I know those names. Yep. So Libby Riddles and Susan Butcher. And I'm going to pop those in here. Libby Riddles and Susan Butcher. Susan Butcher was one hell of a woman. Oh my God. That's Susan Butcher. Strong woman. She passed away. And here's Libby Riddles. Here's a picture of each of them. And you're just not seeing a dang thing, are you? Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she did. She was, hey, Melody. Yeah, she was an incredible lady. Yep. I've had the honor of meeting her several times. Didn't really know her, but I met her several times. And Libby Riddles, I didn't really know Libby. I don't think I ever really met her. Maybe at a bar or something once or twice. But, I never really talked to her. Yes, Susan Butcher was a kind soul. Yep, definitely. So, we've got our bets. And I say that we get on early tomorrow to watch the dogs howl, make our doggies howl, and we'll watch the ceremonial, and then we won't get to see it until Monday then because they're not starting until they drive all the way to Fairbanks. Yes, he did. Dallas CV. Now Dallas was one of the kids. Ooh, get to see some new puppies, huh? How many Yorkies does it take to screw in a light bulb? They go round and round and round and round and round, so it only takes one. They are little spazzes. Not that there's anything wrong with a spaz. That's probably more true than not, Haggis. Okay, you guys, we have our list of runners, our mushers, and we'll see who's going to win. And with that, I really thank you guys for indulging me in my Iditarod. And okay, so we know we're going to have a couple of comments about how cruel dog mushing is. Insert roll my eyes right here. Mushing dogs, sled dogs are completely spoiled animals, and they get fed better and they have better health care than most of us. Yorkies do think they can mush. Yorkies think they're this top dogs. They're little yipper snappers. Well, thanks for doing something a little different with this. Yeah, they do. They absolutely love to run. That is completely what they're there for. Okay, you guys, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and much love to you. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.